Elizabeth here, and I am happy to be sharing some information today that I've been putting together for a while. When I first got into social network marketing, I was looking for someone to come along and tell me what to do because there were so many opinions about how to run a business. And really what I had to do was look into a lot of the mentors who have already walked this journey of being a social and network marketer and research what it is they had to offer and find a way to create a system that works for me. So today I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to go ahead and screen share. There we go. Let's start building a business. That's what I call this. So those that duplicate a system and keep a good attitude doing it have great success. And I always refer to something that one of the leaders in our company says. His name is Siha Top, and he tells us or recommends that we go out and test a system. We come back and we evaluate how that system worked, how it did for us. We make changes to the system, and then we go out and test it again. And we do that over and over until we find something that works. And this is a duplicatable system that I've found. Not only can I do it, but I can also teach it. And so here today is me sharing with you this information. The first thing that it's great to do in your business is to create your compelling story and focus on your why. If you don't know what your why is, well, then start there. Why did you get excited about this company that you came into? Why are you making changes in your life? Why are you leaving your old job? Why are you trying to accumulate more money? Your why is basically everything. Everything that I do in my business, actually in all of my day, roots from my why. And a compelling story is just one way of getting that why out and sharing it with other people in a very short amount of time. So the compelling story actually summarizes 4 questions. These 4 questions. Who are you and where have you been? My name's Elizabeth, and I've been a lot of places, but as far as business is concerned, I mostly worked in, well, I was a massage therapist for years, a caregiver, a nanny, a yoga teacher. I've also been a farmer, an agricultural worker. So what's happened in your life that has caused you to look for something more? For me, it was my physical health couldn't keep up with the demands that caregiving, nannying, massage therapy, and yoga had on my body. And it also wasn't supporting me financially to reach goals that I have. How were you introduced to your company? I was introduced to the company that I'm working right now, Enagic, at a vegetarian festival. And what is the business doing for you, and what is it going to do for you? Well, here it has me sharing PowerPoints that I put together full of information to help duplicate a process. And that's something I never thought that I'd be doing. So the company has me growing personally on a personal level to learn how to be a social network marketer. Because as a massage therapist, yes, I would make referrals for my patients. Oh yeah, go try this food, or watch this movie, or try this massage device. The only thing was I wasn't getting anything in return for making those referrals. So here is my compelling story, and every time I say it out in public, it's a little bit different, and also sometimes customized to the person I'm talking to. But here's my example. I, Elizabeth, have worked in many service and care industries as I have a strong desire to help people. But little did I know that I was suffering in the process and had to reassess my own health and well-being. I was introduced to Kangen water at a vegetarian event, And that one interaction was pivotal in my purpose-driven life today. And Magic is the company that has laid out a foundation of people helping people. I am growing with this company, creating a global business, and building a network of like-minded individuals that I'm grateful to call family. This opportunity is creating an abundant life for me and those open to learning to duplicate a system. So reading that maybe 30 seconds, a compelling story is somewhere around 45 to 60 seconds. Some people call it their elevator speech, but this is just one example. So examine your why, write it down, and then answer those 4 questions, and you'll have a compelling story. You can always change it and adjust it, but basically if you answer those 4 questions, you're giving all the information needed for someone to understand if they might be interested in hearing more. We don't, as network and social marketers, ever prejudge potential business partners. We assume everyone has the seed of potential to succeed. We don't look at someone and go, oh, based off of their clothes or their shoes, they don't have enough money to buy into my business. We don't do that. We don't make up stories for other people. What we do is always begin with a genuine compliment. What made you notice this particular person? There was a girl that I approached because we were in a bagel shop and it was full, packed. It was one of those places where you pick the number and you wait, and we were waiting. But one of the workers there, it was a young girl, and well, not that young because I found out later she had a son, and she was working really hard. And I just went up to her and I said, I see you working hard. And are you interested in looking at a potential opportunity other than this? And oh, yes, so when we notice somebody and we give them a compliment based off of them, not, oh, nice shoes. That's a surface area compliment. We want to give people a genuine compliment about something that's specific to them, their smile, their demeanor, that they picked up something for somebody, that they're kind. We are looking for a compliment, a genuine one, so that we can show interest in the person. But if you don't actually feel what you're saying to somebody else, it's not genuine. It's just another way to try and get into somebody. And that's not what we're about. We're not hunters, as Eric Worre likes to say. We're farmers. So I like to utilize something called the funnel method, and I learned about this through a book by Romy Newstead called Get Over Your Damn Self, and it was actually recommended by my younger sister, who is also in social and network marketing. And she goes through the funnel method very simply. And what we're doing is we're creating awareness, interest, helping someone to make a decision, and then explaining to them what the next action is. So we're going to break it down now. Number 1, we always lead with the business. And I was really uncomfortable doing this at first because I didn't understand the business and I didn't understand how I fit into the business. I was used to being somebody behind the scenes, and now here I am presenting an opportunity to people, and what I needed to learn was how to clearly communicate the business. But here's a script that we use, and while I don't always like to say stick to this script, make it your own, find your own voice in these scripts. Here is an example. In our short time together, I see some qualities in you that would really complement the team I'm putting together. Do you keep your career options open? Because you'd be really good at what I do. Are you interested in hearing about it? We've now asked 2 questions. Questions are so important. This is asking somebody if they're open and interested in hearing more. If I'm sharing my compelling story and someone goes, okay, I know they're not interested. They're like, oh, vegetarian festival. What vegetarian festival was that? Oh, water. What do you mean water? If people are asking interested questions, then we have room to move forward. So if someone says, yes, awesome. When do you have some time this week to get together for a Zoom call? And I say that now because it's not always easy to get together with people in public right now, and some people can't. So I say for a Zoom call because that's the method we're utilizing right now. And can I show you what I do? If the person says no, just move to option 2. This is the part of the funnel. We're going down the funnel. We can ask this person if they'd like to host an event. Here's a possible script. Doesn't sound like this is the right time to check out the business opportunity. Would you be interested in hosting a gathering to educate your friends and family looking for an opportunity and the products we share? I have a gift for anyone willing to share this opportunity. If you're having a gathering, sometimes the gift can be as simple as a hostess gift, like a candle or some flowers or anything. The gift is the simple part. But if someone is interested in hosting an event, it can even be a Zoom event. Then we say, great, take a look at your calendar and let me know a couple dates that look good to you. We'll keep it simple, a few friends, a few snacks, and I'll take care of the rest. Well, obviously we're not gonna have snacks on the Zoom to share, but we can invite everybody to bring their favorite beverage or something. So there's a common thing within the group. If people are not interested in hosting an event, we move to option 3. We invite the prospect to try the product and give feedback. Like I said, sometimes that's hard if you're offering a service, but if you have a product, here you go. Option number 3, the script. I understand you're a very busy person. A new business venture and hosting a gathering might be too much right now. Would you be willing to try our product for free in exchange for feedback about your experience? If yes, okay, great. I can put a demo in your home, show you how to use the device, and pick it up after 7 to 10 days. Sound good? Or I will drop off, in my case, we work with the water. I will drop off 2 gallons of water every other day for the next week, and in return, you'll let me know what you experience. Sound good? We're giving people the option to continue on by asking if it sounds good to them. It's pretty common that if you get someone to say yes 2 to 3 times, that they're gonna actually move in the direction of getting fully educated and making an educated decision. If we are hearing no's right off of the bat, well, it's obvious it's time to move them down the funnel. So if the business doesn't sound good, hosting an event isn't going to work out, and they're not interested in trying out the product, then we move our prospects to option 4. We ask for referrals. This too was also a little bit intimidating for me because I felt uncomfortable basically asking people for a referral. What I know now is that it's not that hard, and some people are very, very willing to share. Here is a potential script. I hear this is not a good time for you to look into the opportunity or business and or try the water. Do you know anyone who may be looking for an opportunity to free up time and or bring more income in each month? Or do you know of anyone who would like to try our product in exchange for feedback? If yes, say thank you. You know, our company is very much into rewarding with compensation for quality referrals. Is that something you are willing to accept if your referral signs up? Now, here's an opportunity because this person said no 3 times, and then we get them to a yes if they have a referral. Now, a lot of the times when they hear, oh, referrals, compensation, well, what do you mean? That gives us the opportunity to actually go back up the funnel, back to the business opportunity. And if they want to hear about the business then, because there's compensation potential, then we can go through the funnel again. The funnel isn't a one-way funnel. We can go up and down as many times as our potential clients want. and each time giving them new information? If no, thank you for your time and answering my questions. If in the future you'd like to revisit this opportunity, I'm happy to share it again. Please keep me in mind if you ever re-examine this technology. And I say this technology because that's the business I'm in. So that is the funnel system. Here's an affirmation that I adopted to get over those limiting fears where I didn't want to share the business or ask for referrals. So affirmations to relinquish limiting beliefs. I am grateful for the opportunity to build a global Enagic family, inviting excited people to duplicate my success. I am a strong, capable human. Simple. So when a potential prospect, especially when we're new distributors and we don't have so much information, so when a new prospect comes to us and starts asking for information, they're showing a genuine interest, also asking in-depth questions. So like I said, I am a distributor for Enagic, and we distribute a technology that creates antioxidant water. And so when people are asking about the technology, about the different pHs of water, oh, what could I use, for my sore feet? What could I use for my dog? What can he drink? When they're asking all of these questions, and I'm a new distributor and I don't know, the best thing to do is get somebody on the phone or somebody present who does know. And that's when a three-way conference call or Zoom call is so effective. So the script is, when I'm a new distributor and somebody's asking me questions I don't know the answer to, this is what I can say. These are all great questions, and I'm just as curious as you are. Here's what we'll do next. Let's call my friend Liz and get all of your questions answered. She's been in this longer than I have. Sound good? We're giving the person the opportunity to say yes or no. And then if they say yes, we give them the option. Is Thursday afternoon or Friday evening better for you? Sometimes they'll say neither. Okay, what days and times work best for you? Once we find that out, we say, great, let me confirm a time with my business partner, Liz in this instance, and I'll get right back with you. Do you prefer text, email, or phone call confirmation? This is important because some people don't check their emails. Some people can't answer their phone, or some people don't text or have bad eyesight, so they can't. So we want to make sure that we find out what works best for the prospect. It's all about meeting the prospect or potential client where they are at and fulfilling their needs along the way, especially while they're interested. After we have a date or a couple of dates and times confirmed, that's when I, as the new distributor, will reach out to my potential client and my business partner to set up this call within 24 hours. And honestly, I do it within a couple hours after talking to the person because I get really excited. When we're going to go into the three-way call, it's important that something about our prospects, our potential clients. And these are 8 questions that I'd like to have answered before I get on a three-way call, so then I can tell my upline something about the person, so they can kind of get to know them, gauge where they're at. What is their name? Where are they located? How did we meet? How do we know each other? What's their career? Or what did they do in their past? Why would the prospect be good in this business? The prospect's attraction to the business. What is it that they're interested in? Business or service or product? What is it? What are their strengths? Maybe they have great communication skills. Maybe they just are really personable and have a great smile. Those things go really, really far in a social-based company. Number 8, the prospect's concerns or objections. You may not have reached these yet, and that's okay, but it's pretty often in my industry that people will say, whoa, those machines are just expensive. So there you go. I would pass that on to the person I'm asking to do the 3-way call, the person who's more educated than me. And that way we can be ready when they express this concern or objection again. We share these answers with all of, with our business partner or upline, whatever you want to call it, prior to the conference call. It's really important, and the earlier the better. The goal of a 3-way call or a conference call is to handle objections and bring the prospect closer to a decision, not necessarily closer to, dotting down on the line, although that really is a goal. We are trying to sign people up. We are trying to get people educated. Another goal is to book up a follow exposure. So maybe a demo, maybe to try the water in our case. Or number 3, to request referrals if they're not interested, just like in the funnel method. So here's an example of how a 3-way conference call can go. These are scripts too, but like I said, I don't recommend just reading from a script, but if you get really, really nervous and have a hard time speaking when on the phone and right on the spot, there's nothing wrong than writing down a few things to make sure that you cover all of the points. So the 3-way conference call begins like this. So say I'm the new distributor and I have a potential prospect. I've asked my upline to do a 3-way call. This is how we would begin. I get on the phone, I call my potential prospect. Hey, Sally, how's it going? Oh, okay, just a second. I'm glad that you're doing good. I am going to bring in my upline, whoever, my friend, my business partner, whatever you want to call it. And when you say here, get them on the phone. So here's Sally, my potential prospect, and Jenny, my upline, which I don't know these people, but for example purposes, I say, hello, Jenny. I'd like to introduce you to Sally, who is located in Seattle. We met at a yoga retreat some years back. She is one of the kindest people, and she really has a genuine interest in helping people. She's also been in the massage therapy business for a long time, so she has a great group of people who know, like, and trust her. She's also able to communicate information very clearly in a way that people understand. This may be what Sally is looking for to create more time freedom so she can spend it with her kids. We find out what's in it for them by talking to them, by asking questions. So what's in it for Sally is she'd like to spend more time with her kids because she's doing massage and teaching yoga and trying to take care of herself and her home and her husband and her kids. And anyways, I'm grateful you two are getting the opportunity to chat. Jenny, please meet Sally. Sally, please meet Jenny. And that is actually when I, as the inviting distributor, stop talking and hand it over to Jenny. So the business partner takes over from here and says, hi. Hi to prospect. So, hi, Sally. Liz has told me a little bit about you. And what Jenny would say is the things that I've shared with her about Sally. Then what Jenny does is, I remember being in your shoes. I didn't know what to think when I joined my first conference call. I'm going to share a bit about myself, the opportunity someone once presented to me, and answer any of your questions to see if this might be a good fit for you. Does that sound good? Sure, says Sally. Just so we're clear, and I find this sentence very important. I'm not in the business of convincing anyone to start their own business or buy anything, okay? That takes pressure off of Sally, and it's huge because all we're doing is sharing. Now Jenny would share her compelling story like we went over in the beginning and ask questions. So Jenny, as the upline and the person who's more educated, starts to interview Sally. So I heard from Liz that you have kids and that you teach yoga and do massage and you have a husband and you have a very, very full life and you're looking for some time freedom. So as you can see the examples down below, we want to ask a question that helps the prospect to look at their own why too. So because Sally's interested in time freedom, we can ask the question, with extra income, what would you do with your extra time? That's going to give Sally an opportunity to listen to herself, her wants, her whys, her desires, and speak from that place. It's going to allow Jenny and Liz to learn more about Sally. And all of this stuff is really, really important because this whole social and network marketing is all about building relationships. So we find out about the intrigue in the business. It's to create time freedom, but also Sally has a genuine interest in health, you know, by teaching yoga and doing massage. But we allow Sally to say these things for herself too. You know, what interests you about this business? We listen to her why. We ask a question to allow her to open up a little bit more about her why. And then we address any of the prospect's questions or objections by asking the question. So I've shared a lot of information with you, Sally. What questions do you have? And we answer them. We listen to them. That's why we're on a three-way call now, is because the person who we've reached out to for help, Jenny, she's going to help explain answers to the question and the processes. Anything that the potential prospect wants to know, Jenny's going to have a good idea of how to address those questions and those concerns. Then we ask, after the prospect has talked about their why, after we've answered all of their questions and their objections, we ask them this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you want to hang up the phone and run away, and 10 being you're ready to get started today, where are you at? And then we listen. What does Sally have to say? So say Sally goes, you know what, I'm still right around a 5. What do we do with that? So 5 to 7, we ask more questions and we get to the core objections. So maybe one of Sally's #1 objections was the price. We can go over more options. We can send her information, send her videos comparing. We need to create more value for the product so that the price makes sense. There's more work we have to do. But say Sally goes, oh, you know what? I'm at 8 or 9. Like, I'm really excited about this. I really want to try the water. I really want to share it with people. I can't wait to give it to my kids and my massage patients. We move to close soon. We follow up with an appointment and an enrollment appointment. So the follow-up appointment might be to cover different ways of purchasing. So we can purchase with in-house financing. We can go to third-party financing, anything. Say Sally just is waiting for the next paycheck. And so we just get her ready with basically paperwork. There's always a follow-up after a third-party call. To expect a third-party conference call to make a sale right away without proper education prior is few and far between. But after a three-way call, usually there's some information that is needed, whether it's paperwork to sign or a video that explains more about the product or some maybe a Google site on PubMed, anything like that. There is always something to follow up, and we want to make sure that we do it. Like Eric Worre says, the fortune is in the follow-up, so let's do it. A 9 or a 10, this one comes up a lot. A 9 or a 10 is basically, it's time to schedule paperwork. You can do it over a Zoom, or you can even fill in the paperwork for somebody and they can give you permission to sign it and send it in. But this comes up a lot. So a 9 or 10, but I need to talk to my husband or my boyfriend or the person that has the money, anything like that. So what do? We encourage the prospect to talk with their significant other, and we invite them to experience a conference call also. So a script you could use is, I talk with wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners all the time. I'd be happy to offer the same opportunity that you had today to your significant other. Do you see yourself talking with them tonight or tomorrow? We ask that because of accountability. Because if we get somebody who's a 9 or 10 and we don't follow up, I mean, honestly, within 24 to 48 hours, but 72 hours at this point, I think is okay. If we don't follow up, we could potentially lose this person. And also it gives space for a partner to say no, and then it puts the significant other off, and there's basically no room for even education. So when I offer the conference call for also the significant other, it's creating a space where all of the education is happening and things don't get lost in translation. So at this point, after the prospect has named where they are on the scale of 1 to 10, and we find out what is the next action. Oh, they want to see some more videos. They want to go talk to their husband. Okay, I'm going to send you those videos as soon as I get off the phone, and then I'll check back in with you in the next day or so. Does that sound okay? We always ask for permission to move forward, because if we don't and we're just forcing it upon somebody, it's very hard for somebody to come to the conclusion of their own yes if they haven't said yes along the way. If they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can call me. Not, yeah, that's okay. You know what? Actually, give me 48 hours. We want to allow people to have their own truth and it be okay. That is very, very important. So the inviting distributor can cut in. So say that's me. I'm coming in. Thank you, Jenny, for your time. I know you're very busy. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, Sally, for your willingness to explore this opportunity. We'll be in touch. Bye, guys. Hang up. It's done. This whole conference call should be happening in about 15 to 20 minutes, though they do go longer when we have people who are genuinely interested. If it's going longer because we have people with skepticism or want to tell us we're wrong or tell us we're crazy or anything like that, then the conference call has gotten out of control and we can pull it back and dial it back like, you know what? I think we're going to end this call right here because it feels like we're going in a different direction. I'm going to get some information together to help answer some of these concerns that you have. Does that sound good? Yes, usually. But if some people are just combative and they want to go back and forth, and that's okay, but we're not going to let it take up all of our time and energy. So hang up, move on. This is what I was talking about, the follow-up. So we want to document the call. We want to record notes from it, like the prospect's why, their objections, their excitement. What was it that got them excited? Was it the, certain kind of water? Was it the business plan? Do they want more information? So we document the events and future appointments in the calendar. I'm supposed to call back Sally by Thursday. So I'm going to write that on my calendar. We want to make sure we hold ourselves accountable for the things that we say we're going to do and do them, and basically set ourselves up for success, not being forgetful, because I feel silly if I've told somebody I'm going to call them tomorrow and then I forget and it's the next day. I'll call call them back, but I still feel kind of silly. Like I have to start off the call with, oh, sorry, I didn't call you yesterday. Like I told you I was going to, but here we are now. And it's okay, it's fine. But if I can hold myself accountable and be on time, it's a lot more impressive. And I feel like my potential prospects are going to have a little bit more respect for me and trust me, which is really important if I do what I say I'm going to. And then number 3, follow up with agreed upon documents, events, educational information, etc., within 24 to 36 hours. But like I said before, I really like to do all of that within a couple of hours. If I have the information, then I'll just send it right over in whatever method the potential prospect agrees upon. So these are some of the reasons why 3-way conference calls go wrong. Number 1, they're too long. Like I said, let's keep it to 15 to 20 minutes because too long is not duplicatable and nobody wants to be on the phone all day long. We don't want to overwhelm the prospect with information, though in these industries, it's very, very easy to do. And busy leaders, meaning the people we ask to be on the conference calls, don't want to be bothered with long calls because they're already having to be on their calls and stuff. So we want to keep it to a minimum as far as time. And if it does go over the 20 minutes, it's a great thing to ask the potential prospect. You know, I've noticed that we went over the 20 minutes. Is this still okay, or should we book another call? We want to be respectful of people's time. Time is a big thing for people these days, and some people have a lot of it and some people have very little. So either way, we want to make sure that we're respectful by asking people how much time they have, or can we go a little bit longer? All of those things build trust. Another reason why a 3-way call goes wrong is because the call is not set up correctly. Some people don't know how to do a 3-way call. That's why it's a good idea to practice with your friends. You can practice with me if you want to. I don't mind. I had to learn how to do it too. But how do you get on a 3-way call? The prospect was not informed well that it was a call about business and all of these things. There have been people who have gotten us on 3-way calls and the person doesn't even know what we're talking about at first. So it's obviously going to be a longer call when we're having to do all of the information. When none of those questions were answered and we don't know anything about the prospect, it's always going to take a little bit longer because we don't know necessarily how to navigate the information we're sharing. If it's unorganized, unexecuted, set up, like I said, practice first. Also, fact-finding was not done well because fact-finding builds rapport. When we have information about the potential prospect, there's some facts to work with. When we have information about what they're wanting to find out, we have a much more powerful opportunity to share with that person. Instead of having to ask more questions, we just get to share the information they're looking for. And it moves along the process much quicker and much cleaner too. Objections. Do not fear objections. Embrace them because they allow us to gain information. They allow us to know what it is we are wanting to educate on. The warning here is when we hear objections, don't get caught up in trying to convince somebody of something else. And also, don't get defensive. It's not personal. Objections are because that is what that person has decided is their possible reason to say no. But people don't often know what they are objecting to or saying no to. And they are responding to incorrect assumptions. How can they be making an educated decision without any of that information? They can't. So it's very, very rare that I get a potential prospect coming in that's highly, highly educated in my product, in my business, in my field, and with my background. So when a prospect voices an objection, respond with a clarifying question and or utilize feel, felt, found. Here are some examples of objections. So the objection is that I get a lot in my business. I don't have time to do this business. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I've found is blank, fill in the blank, which I'll do that down here. A clarifying question for this objection is, how much time do you think you need for this? Well, I don't know, because they've never done it. So the clarifying question is actually putting the ball back in the prospect's court to think about what it is they're actually objecting to. Here's a script, and I love this one. This one actually came from Get Over Your Damn Self from Romy Newstead, and I love it. So the script is for someone that says, I don't have enough time to do this business. Well, I'm looking for busy people. Busy people get things done. This business is done in the midst of busy schedules. 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. We can fill that time with anything we choose, business building or Netflix marathons. I don't necessarily need to know if you think you have time, but are you willing to devote some of your time to accomplish your insert the why here? And remember, because we've taken notes on this person, we know what their why is. So, but are you willing to devote some of your time to accomplish your goal of purchasing that second home in Tahiti? Whatever it is. Another objection here is, I don't know enough people. I kind of felt this way. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I've found is, fill in the blank, we will do that down below. The clarifying question here is, how many people do you think you need to know? Because I didn't know that many people. The script in this business, it's not who you know, but the context in which you know them. This is a great way to get to know new people too. We don't prejudge people and what they might be interested in or looking for. What I'm really interested in is, how much do you like people? Because if you don't enjoy talking to people, then you won't have fun and probably won't show up. This may not be right for you right now. We don't ever say this might not be right for you. It might not be right for you right now, because the thing is, we grow and we learn and we change and we meet new people and we come into new circles. And the thing is, if you don't like people, these businesses can even be done online and you don't ever have to really see or talk to anybody. I like most people, but I didn't know a whole lot of people when I started in this business. And to be honest with you, quite a few of the people I knew didn't really want to hear about it at first. So I stayed away from that. I developed my own personal skills. I started to broaden my social circle. And what I found was people came into my life that were drawn to an opportunity, drawn to listen to me, even though sometimes I don't know why. And that's why I'm here today. So it's actually the people who came into my life that I didn't know because of this business that has me talking on this screen right now. So I'm super grateful. I didn't know that many people. And today that my family in this industry, in this business, are my people. So if you're looking for your own tribe, for your soul tribe and stuff, there's nothing like social and network marketing to call them in. So anyways, next objection, the machines are so expensive. I sell water ionizers that range from about $3,000 up to about $6,000. And that is honestly something that creates a lot of sticker shock in people. People think, whoa, $3,000, holy smokes. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found is, and this is what I actually say, what I found is no one could buy this machine back from me for $20,000 and I could never use it again. I'd pay $20,000 today for my $5,000 machine if that was the price of it. I've made $20,000 for my $5,000 machine. So how did you arrive at the conclusion they are so expensive? That is a clarifying question. If a prospect says, well, they're $5,000, Okay, so what you're telling me is $5,000 is really expensive to you. I hear that. Here's a script. There are numerous ways to finance these devices for a monthly payment that fits your needs. And if you utilize the company's referral program, your machine will be paid for by thank you checks from the company. If you have good credit, we can also use third party for 0% options. Now, if they're like, yeah, but it's still expensive. Okay, well, what do you need to see in order for you to understand the value? It's always going back in the prospect's court to answer these questions. So after we have all of the questions answered and objections have been tended to, we want to replay what the prospect has told us they're looking for. And we also want to reiterate what is in it for them. How are they going to obtain their why or what they want? And we also check into their where they're at on that they're on a scale between 7 and 10. Because between 7 and 10, that's buying potential right there. Once we know where they are on the scale, we'll have an idea of where to go from there. An interested prospect needs to be shown and told what the next step in the process is, not pushed to make the next step, told and shown. When we push or nag a prospect to make a decision, that will often lead to sales sabotage. And we don't want that. And to be perfectly honest, we've gotten sales from other distributors who pushed people to make decisions when they weren't ready, or go in hi Lou, or go in directions that they weren't ready to go in. Now, after we've answered all their questions, relieved their objections, replayed what they're looking for, reiterated what's in for them, found out they're between a 7 and a 10. These are the closing questions that we can ask them in order to find out how to move forward. What do you need to see or hear to get closer to a 10? It seems like this might be exactly what you've been looking for. Am I right in assuming that? Are you ready to move forward? I can email the paperwork or meet you to go over it. Would you like to pay cash, or would you like to take advantage of a financing option? You're going to be amazing at this business. Who do you see us helping first? That's a way to get a referral. Unless you have any more questions or concerns, I think we're ready to get started. Assumptive close. Would you like to discuss pricing? Tell me your thoughts. That's always a good one for someone who likes to talk. Tell me your thoughts. It allows them to open up. You'll hear more about what they have to say, and then you can go back to closing questions 1 through 7. A sale is just a conversation, a series of questions and answers that reflect value in the seller's knowledge of the product and their ability to support a prospect in making a decision that is right for them, because building trust results in more sales. And that's that. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to kangenelizabeth@gmail.com. You can also make a comment and subscribe to Kangen Culture TV, and we would love to hear what you have to say, your feedback, or like I said, any questions or videos you want to see in the future. So have a great rest of your day, y'all.